Good evening, guys! So, I get quite many questions regarding my recommended YouTube channels for various different languages. I already did one video about my recommended YouTube channels for learning French, and I'm planning to do my recommended YouTube channels for learning Japanese, English, and Arabic soon. But of course, it is impossible for me to cover all the languages. So that's why today I'm gonna share with you how to search for channels or videos for any languages you want to learn. So let's get right in. So as a beginner, I would look for two different kinds of channels. Firstly, channels that will teach me the basics. And secondly, channels that will entertain me. And of course, if you can find a channel that will do you both, then that would be perfect. In this video, I'll first share with you how to search for videos or channels that will teach you the basics. And later in the second part, I will share with you how to look for channels or videos that are entertaining. Okay, so the first way is to ask our best friend ChatGPT. I'm so glad that ChatGPT is here for us right now. As before, I only do Google search, and I would say it takes quite a lot of time sometimes, but now with ChatGPT it's much more time efficient, I think. So on ChatGPT, you can type in prompts such as, please recommend YouTube channels that will teach the basics of blah 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 language. I'll just use modern standard Arabic here as an example. And a lot of results will come out. And on the other hand, you could also slightly modify your prompt into, please recommend YouTube videos. Be careful here, not channels, but videos that will teach the basics of modern standard Arabic, because it is totally possible that the videos that ChatGPT recommended will lead you to the channels that you will like. And of course, you can also make the prompt broader, like please recommend YouTube channels that teach modern standard Arabic, or make it more specific that please recommend YouTube channels that will teach modern standard Arabic in an entertaining way. And by the way, I'll put all the prompts that I often use in ChatGPT in the description box below. So feel free to copy paste it to your ChatGPT. And also remember, like, it doesn't have to be in English at all. You can totally also use your preferred language or your mother tongue to ask ChatGPT. But one thing to be careful with ChatGPT is that based on my personal experiences, it's always better to go through the videos or channels suggested by ChatGPT one by one yourself, because sometimes there are false information, like the channel itself doesn't even exist, or the channel isn't about teaching languages at all, which sometimes, yes, it can be quite confusing. So just make sure to check it yourself, and I think you're just be good. Let me share with you my tips when choosing the channels for beginners. I only follow two criteria. First of all, whether the channel has a playlist that will teach me the basics. Second, whether I like the vibe of the teacher. That's the two criteria that I will stick to when choosing which channels to watch as a beginner. Okay, now the second way to search for channels is to ask Google. So in the Google search bar, you can type in top YouTube channels to learn modern standard Arabic, for example, and a lot of results will come out. And there's one website called FluentU. I noticed that they had organized lists of recommended YouTube channels in quite many different languages, so you can also check their website out. One one tip here is that Google search is like a black hole. It will take you too much time if you keep researching without setting a stop point. For me, I would usually not exceed the second page of the search results. And I find that usually most of the useful information will already be in the first 2 pages of the search results anyway. And for YouTube videos that recommend YouTube channels for learning languages, I would watch maximum 3 to 4 of them so as not to spend endless time on doing research. If after doing all this, you still couldn't find anything you like, then I would say it's probably the fate. No, I'm just kidding. Well, sometimes I do encounter this kind of frustrating situations. In that case, I would just lower my standards a little bit. For example, even if I don't really like the vibe of the YouTubers, I still watch his or her videos because he or she has a playlist that will help me to build the foundations. Oh, before we move on to my tips on how to search for entertaining channels in your target language, if you just don't want to spend time on doing research, I would suggest go directly check the Super Easy series or Easy Languages channel if they have contents in your target language, because I find their videos not only entertaining but a great way to build vocabularies as a beginner. Okay, so here the first way is to also go on ChatGPT, and I'll use Spanish here as an example for the target language. So let's type in our prompt. Please recommend Spanish YouTubers who provide English subtitles in their videos. And of course, you can switch the English subtitles to Spanish subtitles if you want, or something else like please recommend Spanish vloggers on YouTube. And of course, if there are a specific genre that you are interested in, like beauty, lifestyle, fashion, technology, gaming, travel, etc., etc., you can make the prompt more specific. However, I do find that ChatGPT cannot be relied too much on making sure whether videos or channels have subtitles or not, because quite often the channel or the video doesn't even have captions while ChatGPT say it does, or even if there is, there's only auto-generated one, but what we want is the accurate captions. So just be careful, and I recommend you to still go through the results generated by ChatGPT one by one yourself to make sure. So what is my criteria when choosing which entertaining channels to watch? So firstly, I like the vibe of the YouTubers is super important. And secondly, whether the videos itself is entertaining or interesting. And third, whether the videos have English subtitles. It is very important because I find that as a beginner, if the videos don't have English subtitles or subtitles in your target language as a beginner, it is very likely that we understand nearly nothing. And based on my experiences, I try to watch entertaining videos without subtitles, and in the end I found that I couldn't really enjoy it because I just don't understand nearly everything they said, and I just stopped watching them, which is of course not good. So I think it's always better if the videos have English subtitles or a subtitle that you understand. So just like what I said, as a beginner, whether a video has subtitles, no matter it is in English or in your target language, means a lot to us. So besides asking ChatGPT, there's another good way to find videos that provide accurate captions, not auto-generated ones. I actually learned this by watching another video, so thank you. So now let's do some settings in your YouTube. On your right hand side of the page, you can see your own profile picture. Please click it and then click the settings, and then on the left hand side there's playback and performance. Click it. On the statement saying always show captions, make sure that it is checked. And the next one, include auto-generated captions. Make sure it is unchecked, just like this. And the next step is that you click your profile picture again and change your language settings. For example, my target language is Spanish. I'll just put it Spanish. And yes, we are done with our settings. So now we turn to the important keywords. So in fact, I wouldn't recommend putting English keywords into the search bar, as I find that most of the results showing up will still be English content. So what I would do first is to go to Google Translate and translate my interested topics from English to Spanish first. For example, I'm interested in Japan, in travel, so I would translate these two keywords from English to Spanish, and then insert my Spanish keywords into the search bar. Then click search. So after the results are out, click the filter, and under the feature sections, click subtitles, and here you go. Welcome to another black hole. I believe now you will have quite many results for you to go through. Well, there's one very passive and lazy method, which is to wait for YouTube algorithm to recommend channels to you. Well, in fact, some of my favorite French YouTube channels are from YouTube recommendations, which I really appreciate. But of course, the disadvantage is that you just don't know how long you're gonna wait for the channels that you like to pop up. So while it's very time consuming to do all this research, I would say it's still very much worth it. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and please let me know in the comment section if you have any follow-up questions. I hope this video is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!